Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Hockey. It is a day that, well, it's appropriately named MIKA de MAYO because Mika Zibanejad was the star of the game today. He was definitely the story. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Just going to get the crawl going on right over here. And always, as I mention all the time, everybody, Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available. Click the link below. And we're also powered by Seat Geek. Use the promo code BigAppleHockey, and let's get this up in this corner so that way you can see that. But everybody that's watching, what a hell of a game today played by the New York Rangers. MIKA Zibanejad, star of the game, the story of it, but the story, of course, Rangers win 4-3 versus the Carolina Hurricanes. They did have a 3-1 lead. Carolina would close it to within a goal twice within the third period. And Zibanejad, 2 goals and an assist for a star of the game. Vinny Trocheck, phenomenal yet again. His 4th goal of the playoffs, and he was the second star. Chris Kreider with 2 assists. Game 2 is Tuesday night. This was an interesting game because, unfortunately, I was late getting to watch it because of some technical difficulties with my streaming. But this is it's a game that I'm sure a lot of people are just going to say, well, if Carolina stays on the penalty box, then it's not much of a series. Yeah, but the problem is you can't have a penalty-free series. The statistics of the series were all of the game so far, which is the series. It was pretty close. After all, the Rangers and Hurricanes, 25 shots to 23 shots. The faceoffs were dead even at 24-24. Slight edge to Carolina at the end. Rangers 2 for 2 on the power play. Carolina 0 for 5. That's a big difference. And also, the Rangers blocked 28 shots. They got to keep doing that because Carolina, will throw the puck from anywhere. So we're going to get to your comments, everybody, in a minute. It's not the usual final buzzer with John, but we're going to do hopefully about 20 minutes, and then that's about it. Quick show for you today. Just wanted to talk about it. Lou is saying, let's go Rangers. And how you doing, Firestorm? Yeah, drinks are on the house. And a matter of fact, I had 2 margaritas during this. Me and my fiance were home just watching the game and enjoying it. Better than going out tonight. It really is better than going out tonight. Sleeping Forest saying, your best guys have to be your best guys, and the Rangers were. Yes. And at the end of the game, they reunited Trouba and Miller, but they should keep them separate. They should still keep them separate. I thought those guys played a good game. I thought the miscommunication on the Kane's second goal, the one by Marty Natchez, that was a little bit of a problem with Fox and Lindgren. And I'm trying to remember which is the forward that moved all the way to the right side, protect the middle. And that's what the Rangers were doing for the most part in the game. They held Carolina to about 18 shots for 57 minutes of the game, and then Carolina was able to pepper 6 more. Thank you, Jay. MIKA de MAYO, great job with that one. Well, yeah. I mean, I had it locked and loaded. I was disappointed when I saw NHL Network had the same title. Like, oh, come on. But, yeah, the thumbnail says it all with that one. Too many penalties, Chris. You're right about that. They have to stay clean because Carolina does have the second-ranked power play in the NHL, and that's you don't want to be tempted fate on that one. I love it. Zibanejad made a back pass when he was alone in front of the net. Look, MIKA Zibanejad had a great game. That's the only thing again on him about. He made the deke, probably slept at 5-hole, but he almost had the hat trick from his knees. But what are you going to do? And Coxie, hey, great first win. Yeah. I mean, you needed to win game 1. And look, both teams are capable of winning on the road. So Carolina, it would not shock me if they came back with an even better effort in game 4. But, I think the Rangers can easily just duplicate this. Keep them to the outside, which is tough to do because Carolina does such a great job with the middle. I was delighted when Evgeny Kuznetsov just could not really get going, I thought today. Or, as you guys know, the John Druce of modern day New York Rangers, Jake Gensel, who is just an absolute terror. So Matt from Ranger Central saying, what a performance from the boys tonight. Loved the team defense. Even when the Canes had the puck, everything was kept to the outside. Sticks were in the right position to break up plays. Yes, I couldn't tell you how many times they broke up a play, they just got it out of the zone, or there was just nothing Carolina could do to keep going. Firestorm is saying big things to worry about. Rampy is getting called for existing. Carolina, probably the best empty net team in the league. It's amazing how, and I think it's the reason why they just crowd the front of the net. And you got 3 guys in front to worry about those guys. I think the best way to defend it is bring your center down, match up man to man down low, worry about 2 forwards up high. Look, you might not want to get the shot through, but I think that's the best way to do it. And as Mike is saying, Mike and We Are for Life saying undefeated in the playoffs with Rampy in the lineup. That is correct. And Rampy, I mean, yeah, he got a penalty today, but as my fiance calls him, the golden retriever, because he just has that face like he's just always happy, and he's like, hey, you know what, you want to go, you want to go. So, and the number one thing is this team is confident. Yes, they are very confident. And as Joe is saying right here, if we win game 2 on Tuesday, I say we might take it at 5. Hold the phone on that. Carolina's got a good home record too. Both teams are good on the road and good at home. And Chris Frost with a great one right here. Revenge of the 5th in a row. Yes. Especially after May the 4th be with you yesterday. Revenge of the 5th. So, yeah. Yeah. See, you already got approval from the kitchen right over there. All right. It was really cute. Matt is saying the only complaint about the game is how they sat back too much. The Canes have too many dangerous players, probably for the Rangers that just sit back. Yeah, they did. And look, the biggest play of the game eventually came when Lafreniere forced that turnover at center ice. This is why if you're gonna play the trap, if you're gonna play the sit back, the prevent style, I know Islander fans were saying that, you gotta force plays you don't want to happen. And Lafreniere, big turnover, gets it Panarin, 2-on-1 with Trocheck. He ends up shooting at 5 holes, squeaking through Freddie Anderson. Probably one that he wants back. All the goals on Freddie Anderson, all good goals. You can't complain about them. And as far as the Carolina Hurricanes go, they're going to look at the Mika Zibanejad first goal and go, how did nobody have him? Which is a good point. How did nobody leave Zibanejad completely alone in front of the net? He's going to bury that 9 times out of 10. Before this series is over, Rampy needs to line up D'Angelo. Hey, look, I said this all along, and Brett Pesce, please make sure you're 100% healthy before you come back in, because as long as Tony D'Angelo is in the lineup, the Rangers need to attack him and attack him and attack him. And look, if I understand it's a little bit of controversy, and let's hear from some of our Kane fans about the penalty, but the play where D'Angelo came in, I understand what PK Subban said. It still looked like the hit was high, even though Cooley was kind of hunched over a little bit. It's incumbent, I believe, in the rules on the attacking player. So we'll check that. That's the way it's always been for a long time. I mean, after all, that's why they had the stop signs on the back of hockey jerseys for a while. That's just hitting somebody from the outside. And yes, Sleeping Forest, right about that. Let them take a million bad shots from the outside. The great thing about what Carolina does is you've seen them do this. They will fire the puck from anywhere. And now they have to do this, and Sturkin will take it. This was not Igor's best game, not by any means. And it looked like a week off got him out of his rhythm, which again, by the way, everybody, that is the reason why you start your goaltender, not sit him and play Jonathan Quick in a sweep. That was a that's just a bad idea. Goalies need a rhythm. Not many people are Martin Brodeur that can stand there and save 14 shots, say thank you very much, and have a good night. You need a goalie to be in a rhythm. That's why sometimes with those goalies that see 50 shots in a game, that's why they do really well, because they're ready for it. James, we are almost in agreement on this one. Let's say Stanley Cup gets handed out tonight. MIKA Zibanejad is a Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Now, fortunately, there's still 2 more rounds, including the one we're playing. So 3 more rounds. That would actually include the one we're playing. That would be gift worthy right there, guys. But no, it's just the way that is. Roman L saying the Rangers played a very Counter-Strike game tonight. Carolina started rolling halfway through the game. You felt that the clear defend, clear rhythm. I'd like to see more sustained O time. That is one thing that should concern everybody. Steve Levy pointed it out there on the broadcast, and that's the Hurricanes did have a substantial amount of attacking zone time. I don't have that stat on me at the moment, but it nearly was double. I think it was about 60%. We'll see about that. Firestorm saying if you're going to call that as a goaltender interference, I would push the opposition into the goalie every time and get a free power play. Why not? I also ask, why would you ever push somebody towards your goaltender? And I know that was a trend in the league for a long time. It's just, yeah. Now, what Willie's saying right here, I really hope the Zebras don't keep deciding this series. One thing Anthony and I talked about a few minutes ago in text messages was you prefer it if the refs could put the whistles away as much as they can. In the case of the final 2 minutes, Vinny Trocheck throwing the puck out. You got to call it. No matter what, you have to call that. And then Svechnikov, I understand it's a loose puck. He's trying to fight for it, but you put the stick right between the guy's legs. That's a trip. What are you going to do? When the refs cannot do that, they have to call the play. They have to call the penalty. So I agree with you on this. Just don't give me the ticky-tack ones. For instance, the Lafreniere slash in game 1 of the Capital series. So that'll be interesting. As Joe is saying right here, if the Rangers win 2 more games, we could tie the 94 Rangers for the record in winning straight games. Yeah, that would be, look, as nice as that would be, great. That Capital team was nowhere near what this Carolina Hurricanes team is. This Carolina Hurricanes team is closer to the 94 Devils. That's how good they are. And that team was amazing. Yes, as you're saying right here, 94 Rangers started out 7-0 in the playoffs. 7-0 in the playoffs. They lost game 4, came back, won game 5. Brian Leetch, yet another game winner. But you see early on the guys that are starting to look like they're starting to position for like an MVP, Conn Smythe trophy winner. Right now, I'd have to say Vinny Trocheck's been playing the best, but MIKA Zibanejad been above him. So actually, by definition, that's not the best. You know where I'm going with the energy on this one, guys. Carolina, though, they just swarm the front of the net. They know how to attack, and they're there. There's not a bad bounce that they don't know how to capitalize on. You got to bring your center down, I think. That's the way I would do it. Make sure, everybody, if you have it and you're listening, thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. We got a lot of hockey talk that's coming in the next couple weeks. Hopefully much more. This series is nowhere close to over. I guarantee that. And well, yeah, I gotta text you because we still got to do a stream about the Rangers and movies. I'd love to talk movies with you. Mostly the past, there's not much modern stuff that's out right now. I suggested to my fiance about going to go see The Fall Guy. I think she might have a movie that she's kind of looking at seeing. There really isn't that much right now for the summer. And although I tell you what, Wolverine and Deadpool looks like it could be pretty good. Firestorm saying Laffy currently averaging a point per game in the playoffs. Yes, and quietly the best point per game in the playoffs. He's got 5. And as speaking about which, so's Jack Roslovic. Everybody's on Jack Roslovic. He opens the scoring by getting that pass right to Mika Zibanejad. Gotta love that one. Sam on the radio today, sync up the TV with the Rangers. Yeah, look, I'll be honest. Sean McDonough is just, he's tough to listen to. ESPN's tough to listen to in every way. Try to sync up your TV. Not sure the 131 works against his skating team. We're going to see about that, but rest assured, a guy that knows how to make adjustments, Peter Laviolette. As much as he was not loving everything, you gotta just say this guy has the most wins of an American coach all time, and I think he's now 6th most all time. I have to double check that among coaches. By the way, if this happens to lose, if Carolina happens to lose the series, Rod Brind'Amour's last 2 series losses, would be against coaches who he played for in the Stanley Cup Finals. So we'll see about that one. I want a Laffy goal in game 2. I think we'll take a Laffy goal whenever we can get it. Imagine getting boarded by Kreider, getting up, and then immediately getting trucked by Trouba, and I feel bad for Jarvis. Look, that's the way you got to play Seth Jarvis. And Seth Jarvis is a good player, man. And him getting that goal right there, just yet another one. Sean is saying, don't get carried away. It's only game 1. Yes, only game 1. Carolina can easily come back. But you know what? That's why you have to keep attacking, especially while there's some blood in the water. Because I don't know about you guys. I felt like halfway through the second period, I'm like, this is what the Rangers game plan is, and they're executing it. And that's why they just need to keep that up. So Bailey's saying, not surprised that Gustafsson played well, or surprisingly, I should say. Yeah, Gustafsson played well. I mean, there was no complaints about him, and I'm his biggest critic. And look, that's all you need. Just play okay. You're the bottom pairing defenseman. I think on the replay, you do see him chicken wing a little bit. And I think that's why they called a minor. That's why they called it for roughing. I don't think he left his feet. I actually think it was the impact that moved him up. But we'll see about that one. So, Wyatt Johnson, 1-0 Stars. Let's see who wins that in the bracket that I have in here. I didn't see if anybody else had brackets. I have the New York Rangers beating the Las Vegas Golden Knights. All right. Joe's saying, I think the Rangers 2024 is much better than the version from 2022. Improved much more than the Canes improved from 2022. Here's the reason why you're right about that one. Look, they got Gensel and they got Kuznetsov. The Rangers took Trocheck off of Carolina and put him on. Everybody keeps on talking about one of the biggest differences in this series. It's not even close. Vinny Trocheck is miles better than Ryan Strome. And it's not even close. So, well, again, it's high. Look, he did make contact in the head area. Also, keep in mind, Cooley's falling a little bit. So that does change things. And I'd be saying the same thing if it was Matt Rampy. So, left his feet. All right, well, Johnson. Yeah, Wyatt Johnson is just such a good player. I'd love to do another broadcast with the girls from the Stars, but we'll see how that works for you. I'm getting a little bit of encouragement from my biggest fan, so I'm happy about that one. All right. Oh, Shesty for Conn Smythe, not there yet, Chris Frost. Not there yet. His numbers, though, are really good. And again, I keep on going back to this one. 949 save percentage against Carolina in the 2022 NHL playoffs. Look for it. He's gonna be right there. John Radigan, always good to see you. And yes, Chris, thank you for holding down Twitch for us. How's everybody liking this bubble that's down here, the comment bubble? Because I usually like the minimalist one. Anthony is very much Mark. No, we need to go with this one. It's livelier. I think you might be right about this one. Damian, yeah, what a win. But again, as it was just said right up here by Sean, don't get too carried away. It's game 1. Hell, after all, Ranger fans, you got to remember, game 1 and 2 both went the Rangers' way. The thing about this is, I still have to point this out. Carolina 0 for 5 on the power play. And if they can't capitalize on that power play to negate the Rangers' power play, good night. This is going to be a quick series. And really hope Ketel can get back to playing. The good news is he is playing. The better news is they don't need him right now. If he was unhealthy and they had to stick him in the lineup and he's kind of battling through it, different story. They could take their time with him. Because I worry about it because I think about Marc Savard. I think it was 2011 or 2010. I'm trying to remember which series that was. But Marc Savard that came back, former New York Ranger, and just concussion problems just eliminated him from his career. And I mean, he was a guy I thought the Rangers should have held on to. But yeah, what a win. Refs made this game. As Willie's saying right here, Carolina is very good at controlling play. It's silly to assume the Rangers can overcome that, especially when they flow that. Look, you're right about this. But if you watch that Islander series, ebbs and flows of the game are very important. And it was all about momentum in that series. Because there were times where I was like, how do the Islanders even compete against Carolina? And the next thing you know, puck's in the back of the net, Islanders dominating play for another 5 minutes. And you go, wait a minute. And that's why I do say all the time, guys, the other guys get paid too. You're right about this. Carolina can dominate the play, but when they're not, they're a very momentum team. Play your game and attack them. Now, you also got to make sure you get some good zone entries and don't give the puck up in the neutral zone. I mean, that's hockey 101, obviously, but that happened a lot in the second period. Carolina was able to counterattack. And then you look at them in the third period, they might be one of the best third period teams in the league, 13-6 with the shots. Yes, the Rangers were defending, but the Rangers were holding them at bay for a long time in this game. Guys, it's going to be a quick show today. I'm going to do about another 8 more minutes. It is Cinco de Mayo, or as I said on the thing, let me just click it off. It is, it didn't hide the comment for me. MIKA de Mayo. And I didn't do that one either. I'm just batting 1,000 right now. MIKA de Mayo. So I will do a shot on the air of tequila just to make everybody. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that tequila is spoken for. So, but, oh, yeah, no, yeah, I'm thinking more about the third period. We picked Wyatt over Johnson. Yes, and you do have to call erroneous penalties. Vinny Trocheck does deserve an A. And Vinny Trocheck, just what a player. Oh, Dune 2 was unreal, lived up to the book. I have to watch Dune 1 and then watch Dune 2. One movie that we watched the other night, we watched Memento. And that probably my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. If not that, I would say The Prestige. But I do have to watch both Dunes. Denny Villeneuve, I want to call him Villemure, but
you have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 35-minute timer.
Oh no, I was trying to be quiet to make sure you heard. All right, see, we got about another minute on our fajitas that we're doing right now, and but I love the new Blade Runner that he did, and The Arrival was fantastic. But you know, I gotta watch both those Dunes. I wanted to wait for them because the first one, I think the first one was mostly online. They were having it when they first released it, and that's why I'm waiting to watch both of them. I still remember the one with Kyle MacLachlan, and I think it was David Lynch that directed it. Like I remember Patrick Stewart. I saw Patrick Stewart. I'm like, Patrick Stewart's in this movie. It was after I watched Star Trek. But again, everybody, whenever you think about that, you always think about the worms. However, let me get to your actual comment. Defense was great all game. Offense was top notch until the third period, where they couldn't fire the puck in the offensive zone for a significant amount of time. Overall, still very good. Yes, Does Sheldon Keefe get fired? That's a great question because we are going to be asking that. What is going to be your move if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I think we're going to do an off-season segment called tune-up or surgery or something like that, because I think that we should do that for some teams. I think you have to break up the stars. I think you can't go to next season with Mitch Marner, and that's just what I personally think. But we'll see about that. Mikey Red is saying, I think Florida is going to trounce Boston. Not so fast. In the season series, Boston was really good against them. I know they won the last game. Let's just check that real quick. Because if I remember correctly, I should do a Alexa, stop. No, it's all right. Like I said, we're having dinner in a few minutes. We had Big Mac sloppy joes we made up the other day. I recommend you guys look up that recipe. It was outstanding. Florida was 0-2 against the Bruins this year. I like Florida. I think that they're a cup-worthy team. I keep saying this all the time. And by the way, everybody, if you're just joining us right now, we got 91 of you that are watching. Make sure you hit that like button and also to like, share, and subscribe. Our main show is always Wednesday night. This is a special show right now. But I keep saying this all the time to everybody. There's 5 teams right now in the playoffs I legitimately think can win the Stanley Cup. And one more really still needs to show me something. It's whoever wins tonight's Game 7, Dallas versus Vegas. And then you have Florida. I think they can do it, even though Sergei Bobrovsky is back to newly free agent Sergei Bobrovsky, who was By the way, I didn't know I could do this. I cut myself cutting onions earlier in the night. And then whoever wins this series between the Rangers and the Hurricanes. So there's your 5 teams. 2 in this series, 1 in Florida. I don't think the Bruins can do it. Prove me wrong, Boston. I'm okay with that. So let's get back to some of these because we're only going to go about another 4 more minutes. But the Islanders never won another game 1. I don't care if it's Shesty scoring all the goals, as long as they win 4 games before Carolina does. I'll agree with you on that one. Carolina has never played a playoff series down. They have. That was last year against Florida, where they lost in 4 games. It was a close 4-game series loss. And again, you're going to see a lot of close games in the series. Don't go thinking none of these are going to be good. And by the way, Adam Fox, same thing that I said in my preview. He struggled against Carolina 2 years ago, even though he ended up having 8 points in that series. They need the Adam Fox from last series, but the point production from 2 years ago against Carolina. You're not in trouble till you lose 1 at home. That's correct. Because after all you have to do is hold serve. And in the NHL, that doesn't happen. Both of these teams are capable of winning on the road. So even if Carolina wins game 2, which they can, and I was there when Carolina stomped the Rangers 6-1 back in January. And that was, of course, at the Garden. So we'll see about what happens right there. And you know what? I do have to say this before I get too far, and I'm trying to get to all these comments before we have to go. 97 of you right now watching. So again, thank you everybody for joining us today. I got to say that I'm starting to come around on this. I don't think this is the top-notch Carolina yet. I don't think that they played that great against the Islanders. It seems like they played great, and they have the depth, and they can win when they're not playing great. I don't think you're seeing their best. Romanella saying, what's encouraging? It doesn't look like the Rangers have any major adjustments, or have to make any major adjustments, that they've been able to play their game, and that's a mark of a good team and normally a favorite. Look, again, guys, this team is coached by a guy that's been here before. This is the 3rd team Laviolette's coach that's won the President's Trophy. And the Flyers came close too. And the Islanders were damn good under him. And the Capitals were on the decline. So I'm not even counting that. Matt is saying that I thought Schneider was the Rangers' best defenseman tonight. He moved the puck very well, played great defense, and was all over the ice tonight. Yes. And I do think the move at the end to pair Trouba and Miller up, bit of desperation, I think, but also maybe a bit of a statement. We'll see about that one. Firestorm was saying Schneider and Miller are a true second pair. Yes, they are. They complement each other far better than we honestly expected. Well, because Braden Schneider was predicted to take over Jacob Trouba's job. He said it himself. Look what happened. Now that's where he is. Cooley was falling because he was slew-footed. Romanel, you got that one. And I think I think it was Lou that mentioned this earlier in there. But yeah, you're right about that. And he was tripped up by Marty Natchez. So if people want to actually debate the actual call on D'Angelo, if you want to say that hit was clean, then D'Angelo actually got penalized because Natchez tripped him. If that makes sense. Because one of those plays you can't review. That squeaker goal against Freddie was essentially the difference in the game. The goaltending matchup so far has been it. Yes, and that's what I said also. Going into the end of the by the way, thanks, Pops. But going into the end of my review, the written review, if you want to see it, it's Eye of the Storm. It's on our Twitter page. I hate calling it X. It's so stupid. Like, look for the playoff preview articles. But by the way, I still think the Rangers are going to be underdogs now the rest of the series. So anyway, but the squeaker goal is proof yet again. When the Canes need the save, I don't think Freddie Anderson's going to make it. My question is, at any point in the series, do they look to go to Kochetkov? And does that change things? Because I think he can steal a game. I don't think Freddie Anderson does. I think Freddie Anderson needs to play steady, and then he can win the game. Other than that, no. If that's what the Rangers are going to be, that's all they wrote. I like the bubble. It's livelier and easy to see without being obstructive. Yeah, and of course it sets everybody off, kind of offsets it like that. Let's get some more of these. I want to try to get a couple more comments from somebody that hasn't gone here, but Mikey Red saying if the refs call penalties against the Hurricanes, yeah, well, look, the Hurricanes are going to find themselves getting penalties, but then again, you get guys like Jacob Slavin on that team that he just doesn't get penalties. I think he had 12 penalty minutes the entire season. There's a reason why the guy is one of the best defensive defensemen in the league, and he's up for the Lady Byng. And look, he's kind of like as numbers wise, not play wise, everybody. Think about Dan Girardi back in 2012. Dan Girardi, just ultra low amount of penalties. All right. Gonna be finishing this up, guys. Let me just take a couple more comments first. I believe we will see Jones more likely than Hedel at the moment. Hey, look, if both those guys can watch the games, they're even better. David, haven't seen you in a while. Gotta get Rampy out of the lineup. Put in Broads or Hedel. Rampy's a liability. And look, here's the thing. Rampy is going to be on the bench in the third period. I think what they should do, follow, and a lot of guys might not disagree with me on this, put Rampy on the bench when it's in Carolina. Let him play the next game at the Garden. Gustavo, hey, haven't heard from you. If we win the cup, Hedel's name will be there, or who just played in the playoffs. No. Players can actually vote to get his name on there. There are players that have been traded that ended up getting playoff balances. In other sports, Nomar Garcia-Parra got a World Series share from the Red Sox. If is his name going to be on the cup, the players can vote and get his name on the cup. Because I'm going to go NYR in 6 or 7. Well, all right. Well, I believe whoever wins the most games wins the series. Chris T, you gotta be more specific than that. I have 6 in my bracket, by the way. That was my call on it. How many coaches can the Leafs go through? And look, they want to keep running it back. That's up to them. I have no idea what that one is. So, for my cocaine parties. Okay. All right. So we're done with that one. Hey, John D. Lee. Unfortunately, it's gonna be hello and goodbye. I got fajitas going, guys. All right. Yeah, Mark, you're right about that. Fox has got to be less lackadaisical. All right. Hey, guys, we're gonna have to cut it off at here because we got a lot that we got to be doing. I got dinner, but you know what? Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. I have a fresh batch of margaritas I have to make, and we got something we're gonna watch tonight. Might do the documentary about Clue. That seems interesting. If you haven't watched Saving Sakic, you could either watch Saving Sakic on ESPN Plus or check out our interview with Neil Smith, and our short about that is entitled Harrison Ford. And thanks. One of my former roommates likes the beard. How do you guys like the beard? But all right. No, I'm not at my best during the solo shows, guys, but there's going to be more of these. We will talk more soon. And Matt over at Ranger Central, whenever you guys want me to come on, give me a shout out. I'll try to get on as soon as I can. Thanks, Leo. This is where, see all the grays? This is where I look old. But anyway, guys, yeah, Firestorm. I hope my beard looks better than yours. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Everyone, thank you very much. We will talk to you probably Wednesday for our main show. Maybe I'll do a show going into it on Tuesday. But yeah, we will see you guys soon.